Man, that never gets old. Look at that. Welcome to Life on the Moose. Welcome back if you've been here before. I'm just on my way. I'm hiking up to the ridge cabin. I'm gonna get some measurements for those cabinets I'm gonna build today. And later on, got a little surprise, at least exciting news for us. So I'm gonna maybe drop a few hints, but later on in the show, I'll take you there. I'll show you exactly what we're talking about and let you know what's going on. All right, well, let's get to that ridge cabin, take those measurements, and get going on those cabinets. It'll be fun. Okay, I'll show you what we have going on here. Okay, I think I may have mentioned in earlier videos, I'm gonna put a shelf just about where this red grain is right here. And that's going to kind of hide all of the components underneath. I'm gonna put a shelf up on the wall right below the sconce that's gonna go up there. We're gonna make sconces too, by the way. Sconce up there, shelves here, and another cabinet in the corner with countertop. So I'm gonna make live edge countertops. The countertops are going to be made from that standing dead, the burned wood from the fire we had several years ago. Okay, on the countertop, live edge, as I just mentioned, and I think I'm going to have a kind of an eased corner right here. Just we don't want to be bumping into things. So, 34 1/4. Would you remember that for me? Thanks. And this is almost 24, but I'm not gonna have it extend all the way. I did buy a bracket to support this. I don't think there's gonna be anything underneath over here. Over there, different story. So over here, the countertop will be similarly symmetrical. Symmetrically similar. And I'm gonna ease the corner, end over here against this wall. And there's going to be a box underneath, and obviously shy of the outlet. And so I'm going to build a cabinet here, probably a single door, 28 inches, 31 and 5/8. Okay, what was the one from over there again? I knew you'd remember. Okay, before we head down, I got to show you this. Look at that. Fresh gravel. I don't know if you remember me almost falling the last episode. There was bare dirt and I had pieces of wood there to step on. We didn't have a chance to get it on video, but my wife and I were here on Memorial Day and we had a load of rock delivered. Since it wasn't Memorial Day in Canada, another thing my wife and I did, which we did not get on video, and I regret that, is we cut up a bunch of dead trees. I don't know if you remember, out in the middle of the screen there's fallen dead, a couple of them actually, and a standing widowmaker dead tree, and there was one actually up on the cliff that we dramatically pulled off with the tractor. I wish we would have got that on video, but we didn't. We weren't prepared. So we have a couple of burn piles started. Some big logs in there, but speaking of butts, if you look at the butt of that one, rotten. So it's rotten literally to the core. Then there's a little bit of good stuff, and then there's punky on the outside. I did manage to save a couple of logs though. Here are the logs that we have so far. As you can see, the outside, not very good. But there's a pretty good chunk on the inside. I guess we're at about 2 feet. Yeah, and that's a decent one. It could get a little soft around the outside as well, but we'll see. It might make great flooring for the next cabin. Did I just say next cabin? Countertop. Karen and I earmarked this slab for the counter in the ridge cabin. It's about 15 inches across at the widest point. I'm just gonna snap a line and straighten that edge out, put that edge against the wall. Yeah, beautiful piece of wood. It's about 2 inches thick. I think it'll work out just nice. And as far as the shelving goes, this piece right here. Oh. And we're just gonna rip that, cut that right down the middle and have a live edge on both sides. And that's gonna be our shelves. So for the cabinet, we have some real good looking leftover boards from the old house we tore down. These shelves need brackets, and these are just pieces of angle iron that we're gonna paint black because they're cheaper than shelf brackets are. So we're gonna paint these black, and that way they can dry while we're cutting up the wood. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna establish a straight line along this edge. And this will be the wall right along here. So, and from there we'll cut the lengths that we need. Okay, you remember what that first measurement was? I don't. All right, first measurement, 34 1/4. So this edge right here is going to be the edge that is against the window. This is above the solar setup right there. So this is the corner I was talking about. I'm going to ease it up a little bit. So I do have a jigsaw around here somewhere. So I think I'll just ease that up. Now, something like this maybe. And just go from there. Okay, just like that, we have a rough countertop. This is the edge against the wall, edge against the other wall. This is what it looks like against the window. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's sand this up a little bit and make it pretty. Just like that, it's ready for the lacquer station. Look at that. Countertops made easy. You ready? fill up these little wormholes here best as we can. Some of them just go through to the other side. Some of them just make their way through the grain. Don't fall over there. I still haven't gotten myself a different tripod. Okay, on to the next one. 31 5/8. 31. This slab has this little wowie thing right here going on. Let me see that. There it is. So it's like this knot wants to come out and it's a little soft. So I think I'm gonna pull the knot out and then sand around it or do whatever we have to do, but that's no good right there. There we go. So this is the slab we're going to use for the shelves that are going to be hanging on that south wall. I'm going to cut this right down the middle and use each half cut end against the wall. There's a little bit of live edge on both edges here. So that's what I'm going to use. This is 48 inches long. I just need 24 and I need 4 shelves, so this is perfect. Okay, we have the countertops finished. We have the shelves finished. Let's make a cabinet. I have a lot of this wood left over from the old house. What are we gonna do with it? If only we had, I don't know, another cabin to build or something. Okay, so this is the side wall for the cabinet that I'm gonna put underneath this countertop. It's a big crack, and that is like a loose crack. I would not put this on anything else, but we're gonna have this thing screwed down in several places. It'll never move once it's down. It's just too nice of a board to waste. Okay, I need some 2x4s for a basic framework under that cabinet that I'm building. So I'm gonna take that stack right there, which is also from the old house. That's pretty straight. That's straight enough. Okay, good. This'll work. Well, does that look like a cabinet frame to you? That's what it is. All right, now I just have to make the door. First slab of the door is cut. I need to find about 1.5 more of these babies. So off to the woodshed we go. All right, I found this big old wide plank for the remainder of the door. So I just need to cut this down to size. Skinny it up just a little bit. It is too wide. It is 13.25 inches wide. That is a beautiful plank. Unbelievably flat. All right, let's cut it up. Make a door. And now I'm just tying these door panels together. And this is going to be in the inside of the door. In case you can't see what I'm doing here, I'm simply taking my Phillips bit before I put the screw in, widening the hole just to accommodate that head of the screw so I can sink it in a little bit. Man, that never gets old. Look at that. What the heck is this place? Ta-da! This is going to be the site of a new cabin. Yes, it is. Let me show you around. This is the piece of property that had the old house that we tore down a year ago, and I used that house for the boards for the flooring in the ridge cabin. That house sat over that ridge right over there, and I didn't want to put a new cabin where the house was because it was too close to the road. In fact, maybe see that little white right there is a road off in the distance. Actually, we have a spot right there. See the flags? Fairly level spot right there. We are going to put that cabin. It's going to be a 12 by 16 foot cabin. So it's going to be the same size. I'm going to use the same principles as far as the foundation goes. It's going to be a little bit different style cabin though. So it's a little bit farther off grid. There is the truck down there. That's the closest I can get the truck as of now. Between here and the truck, there's a pretty good swale. And I have to bring the tractor down here, add a little rock to the low side, trim that tree up, and then bring some dirt, and I'll be able to at least drive the truck, probably about where this rock outcropping is, and then the cabin will sit over there. So this is exciting. Well, I'm going to start this thing right away. I'm going to finish the ridge cabin first, of course. That still is a couple of episodes away. We got a lot of little things to do yet on that ridge cabin, but this is exciting. So I know you thought I was just going to finish up this cabin and you'd never hear from me again. Not so lucky. I look forward to get going on this. These things tend to work better when they're upright. Oh gosh. One of the very last things I did last night before I called it a day, I lowered the blade on this table saw so I could use it as a bench and just work on top of it. And I couldn't get it back up. I tried to raise it, crank just spun. So I think what's happening is the shroud that holds the blade is just so compacted full of stuff. So I'm trying to wrestle with this right now to get it out of here, to get it open, empty it out, see if that helps. Because without a table saw, it makes my life more difficult. But hey, that's life on the moose, right? We'll do what we have to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, look at this. Big chunks in there. All right, I think this is gonna help. I'm gonna keep working on this. Issue is that little guy right there. The internal workings of this, I believe, are stripped in one direction. I can crank it down, just cannot crank it back up. So what I had to do is I had to basically take this apart in here, get a wrench on that, on the actual mechanism itself, crank it up manually. So I have blade, I just can't lower it or I won't be able to raise it back up. Okay, we'll make it work. All right, we have everything we need. Just got back from IKEA, so we should have this together in no time. Okay, boy, do I have a lot of stuff here. Frame for the cabinet. There is a countertop on top of that cabinet over there on the right. And I got my door. I got a side panel. And all sorts of stuff. Well, let's just get to work. All right, I think the biggest challenge is going to be if I can remember how to put this thing together. I had this all planned out really neatly right up here, and you know, it worked well when I was cutting it up, so hopefully it works just as well when I put it together. So, all right, here goes nothing. Come on. Well, the countertop fits in its space, but I don't think this is perfectly square. I know my walls aren't quite that far out in that distance, so I am just gonna mark this. Okay. See that line there? Once I get rid of that, that'll take care of most of it. And the rest I'll put a little bit of, I'll probably put a little backsplash. Why not? It's a cabin, right? Dang, that's pretty good. Pretty nice, huh? Okay, let's put a door in. We have a door and a door handle. Look at that. Here, let me show you. All right, the door's on. Heavy duty hinges, about 10 times more than necessary. That's okay. And what do you think of this little handle here? Huh? This little knob. This knob, you may have guessed it, is a bottle stopper from a beverage. This inside is crafted from an old cowboy boot that is leather. So I figure that's perfect. Outside is wood, inside is leather. Works great. All right, I'm just gonna put a little bit of lacquer on that handle. And this cabinet's about done. Just like that. Finissimo, look at that. So top is made from the standing dead ponderosa pine. And the cabinet itself is a mixture of ponderosa pine and fir, I believe. And that is all, the cabinet is all old wood, including the framing from the house we tore down. The knob is from a adult beverage bottle, and even the hinges I bought at an online auction, one of those, you know, buy the box for $20 and you have no idea what's inside of it. Well, there's about 40 hinges inside that box, and it was a great deal. Voila! Oh my gosh. You wouldn't believe it. We are perfectly 100% not quite level. Just the way we like it in a cabin. All right. Gosh, look at that. Let me show you a little up close detail here. Okay, countertop number 1. Have a little hole here for the cord. I might have to raise that in the future, but I don't know if I'll have to get to those down there. Everything else is just plug in the face, the lights, the solar panels. So I think I'm okay. I still have some tidying up to do under there. And well, guess what I found? My little alligator clip for the battery. It just went belly up. Yeah, so I'll have to put that back together or wire a new one. Shelf on that side. Next episode, or maybe the one after that, I'm going to put a sconce up there. And put another sconce up there. Shelves there. And custom cabinetry. Look at that. I've never built a cabinet per se. I've built, boxes, little things like that. I mean, this is really a glorified box, right? Countertop. Boy, all sorts of character there, huh? Little storage. It is starting to look like home. Or better than home. Well, that was fun. Thank you guys for riding along. I do appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. Gosh, I think it just looks... I know I'm really biased on this, but it looks pretty cool. I like it. I like it. So we do have... Any of you ever build a house? Because when you get to the step where you think, hey, I'm going to move in next Friday, then the contractor gives you a punch list about that long. Little things like hooking up the ice maker and hooking up the fan for the bathroom. All sorts of little things that aren't readily at the top of your mind, but they have to be done. Not a lot, but probably in the range of days, 3 or 4 days worth of work. A couple of episodes probably. We have one episode on the outside for sure. I did, in my mind, nail down what I wanted to do with those solar panels as far as a kickstand goes. So that's taken care of up here anyway. So I know what I'm going to do there. Also on the outside, we have to touch up that trim as far as staining goes. We have to paint the exterior of this door behind you. And we also have to put the trim pieces on the eaves. So we have about an episode's worth outside. We have about an episode inside. Have sconces I'm gonna put up there. I have coat hanger I'm gonna make out of some railroad spikes we found. We still have some baseboard in here and then some corner trim. So all sorts of little things, but I really want to have it done. We're actually having guests here in about 3.5 weeks, so I want to have this thing wrapped up for that for sure. And after that, hey, we have another cabin to build. I'm looking forward to that. My personality is more of a let's get going, start something, build something. My personality is not so much, hey, let's just maintain what we have You know, that's not me. You know, I'm building a cabin instead of changing the oil in my lawnmower. You know, they both need to be done, but one's a lot more fun than the other. Shelves are up, countertops are up, cabinets in. That's a success. And we have plans on a whole nother cabin. Oh, I'm excited. Thanks again for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. Thanks for hitting that like button if you like this sort of thing. And you know what? Come back next week. Let's do it again.